I was watching this rap singer called Travis Scott, and in PowerDirector 19, we're going to do this effect that Travis did in one of his videos. And I thought it was kind of cool, so I'm going to actually do it for you. Now, you're going to need a green screen, and in my last video, I showed you how to set up the green screen. I'll link it up if you don't know how. I have a link in the bottom to buy the one I'm using, which is like a whole 50, 60 bucks. Behind me is the blue screen, and I'm using blue because I'm wearing green. So we're going to use the blue side of the screen instead of the green side this time. But Travis did this effect where he was in the shot over and over and over. Now you could do this shot to where you're in the shot 6, 7, 8 times playing the guitar, playing harmonica, playing different instruments, and you could become an entire band with this shot also. But we're actually going to do the Travis shot, and we're going to see how this actually comes together, which is pretty awesome, I think. So let's let you have a look at this, and you tell me what you think below, if it's something you'd use, or if you do use it, let me know in the comment section below. Let's head over to PowerDirector and let me show you how I made this. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do a pretty cool effect in PowerDirector 19. And this here is Travis Scott, and I've removed the audio so I don't get flagged, but basically you see it's basically him making all kinds of different poses. Now, I did mine kind of short. The longer you do this, like you do this almost down to your belly, it'll be a lot easier to add to your screen. So I'm pointing that out to you if you want to try this. But you can see how he's got all these layered in here. So I'm going to teach you how to do that, and you're going to learn some things about PowerDirector also, is what you're going to do. Now, I've made little videos, so, I've made this particular video here, and I've made them like, a little over a minute long. Usually you would do this for probably about 15 seconds, unless, of course, you really do want to do this for a very long time in PowerDirector 19. Now, if you're actually a musician, you could turn around and play out the song on your guitar, and then go play the song out on your piano, then go play it out on your trombone or whatever, and then add it all together, and then start editing. And it would sound like you are the complete band, which would actually sound pretty cool. So let's take a look at some simple steps here. And normally what you want to do is you want to take where I'm talking, and normally what I'll do with that is I'll move it down. And I don't know why I got all those other ones. Let me remove them. Remove empty tracks. And there we go. Empty tracks are gone. So I'm going to move this down. There. Now the very first screen, I want it to be white. So up here you'll notice I have this open. And by clicking this arrow, I close it. By clicking the arrow, I open it. I'm going to go to color boards. And I want white. And I'm going to put it on the very top line. Just stretch it out any length, it really doesn't matter. Now I need, I'm going to right click on this here. See right beside the one? I'm going to right click, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some tracks. Now I don't need tracks with me talking because all my videos are just me standing there. I've only got this one of me talking. So I could add, say, 10 video tracks. I could add 0 audio tracks. And where do I want to start? I guess I could start below number 2. Above 2? No. Let's go above 3. Hit OK. And then when I scroll down, you're going to see all my video tracks here. So I got a whole bunch. And it really doesn't matter, and I'm going to click media content to get back to my videos. It really doesn't matter if you only add 2 at a time, 3 at a time, and then you add what you need. Doesn't matter at all. Okay? So again, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to drag this down. You notice how slow it goes. I'll put it down here, say on 6 for now, is what I'll do. Okay. So now I need to add something. So first things first, I need to take this part where I'm talking and I need to center it in the screen. Now you can go to Tools, you can go to Pip Designer, or you can double click it, but we are going into the Pip Designer. And you'll see my blue screen is kind of wrinkly. My light's not perfect here, but hey, we can wing it. So we'll turn on the chroma key. I'll hit my chroma key, and I like to really beef it up just to make sure if there's anything in there. And then I'll say okay. So now I got a white background. Now when I click the video, you see I got dots here. We're going to kind of shrink that down. See that? And determine where you want it. So now we just kind of move it around. Now I may want to put this at the bottom right here. This way it doesn't look kind of out of place. Okay, so now I need one of these. So I'll get one where I'm just kind of sitting there looking around. Okay. So we'll take that one and we'll drop it here on number 2. Now, we don't need the audio because I didn't use that, so I can link and unlink the audio by right-clicking on it. And now I've got this here. So here we go. We're going to double-click or go into Tools and Pip Designer on this one. And we need to, again, chroma key that one out. And over here, I got my lights kind of off. You know, after you do this so many times, you just kind of get like to the point, need my light a little bit better there next time. You just kind of know what you're doing. So this is the one we got here. I can grab these little circles, pull this down, and then I can actually move this, you know, over. You see how this is not allowing me to do this? Because if I click down here, it clicks this one. Now if I click higher, yes, I could put my squares there and then move it. Because the reason it's doing that, and I'll try to do this a little harder so you can see what I mean. I want this guy. Okay, I want the guy in the back. And I want the guy in the front. But if I try to click on it to move it, it immediately goes to the guy in the front. And that's because it's getting confused. The best way to do this when you have two objects so close to each other is just double click it and go back into the Pip Designer, because the Pip Designer will put focus on that one. Then pull that one off to the side so it's not overlapping on that one. Then leave the Pip Designer. So now we can move this wherever we want and we can get a pretty good look. And as long as we have some not touching this one, we're okay. So that looks good. And behind this guy, and that looks all right, right? Now I could hit Control C for copy, and I've got a copy of this. And I could come down here, and I guess in number 3, make sure it's that dark gray there, and I'll put it here. See that line? That's where we're going to paste. So I'm going to say Control V for paste, and it pastes to the right on that brown. Okay, I'm going to pull it back. Now this one is in a different place too, but it's actually in the same place. There's two on top of each other here. So again, I'm going to double click on this to go into the Pip Designer, just so I can move it out of the way. See that? So now it's out of the way. And then this one's on top of there. I hit OK. And now I can grab it, and I've got the two of them there. So if I hit play now, I was watching this rap singer called Travis, and you see how they're moving there. So I need something different. So let's go with, because if you get 2 minutes the same, and I shot these about 1.5 minutes all separate. But I kept the lights and everything the same. Now I want to make sure this remains on the bottom, the talking one. And you'll notice it added audio even though there was no audio there. Remember I did all video? But because it's seen audio, it automatically added it. I didn't have to worry about it. So I need a different one. So how about this one? So we'll bring this one down. And again, we don't need the audio, so we could take that out. And we're going to double click it and go to the pip designer. And here we go. Again, we're going to chroma key. A little too much light there. Okay. Again, grab the corner, shrink it down so we can see what we're working with. And let's take this one and maybe put it right about there. And don't worry about if it's on top or the bottom. Don't pay attention to that. When you're inside the pip designer, we're just doing sizing and moving. That's all we're doing. Let's hit OK. And look what happened, how we went behind each guy. But our green screening wasn't very good there. So I need to go back in and wait till it's done. And then I need to go in here and crank this up. Hit OK. And I'm going to take the audio out down here so you don't got to listen to this. So there we go. Let's hit play. Now you'll notice he's talking here in the middle, but we got one guy on top of the other guy. Now what's important to understand about this is that depending on who's on top of who determines where they lay on top of each other. You may need, for example, you may need to take one and put it below the audio person. Because then you change. Notice he's now on top of the guy that's talking. Put him on top, and now he's behind that guy. But this guy is on top of this guy. So if I wanted to, I find that guy, which is this one, and then I could bring him down, and now he's on top of him. You see that? By simply moving them up and down below each other, we determine how they get placed and layered on top of each other, is what we do. And we just go over and over, pulling them apart, moving them where we want. If we have a hard time clicking on them to move one, like I can't click them because somebody's over top of them, double click to go into pip designer and then move them out of the way. Then you can come back here and then line them up is what you can do. And keep in mind, you will have to add more tracks, as you see I did there. And again, over by the video icon here, I did a right click and then I added tracks. Or I could remove empty tracks. So I could say add tracks, and here I can add just video tracks, or I can add audio tracks. It's up to me what I want to put in. So really you're just videotaping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe to 7. This one I couldn't green screen. I tried. I had my lights all off over here on the right side. And that one there was just me messing with my head, so it was something different in the video. So basically you make 6, 7, 8 videos, and then you get them lined up, and you can get yourself a screen looking like this, which is a pretty cool effect inside PowerDirector 19. Now, like I said, if you play instruments or in your instrument player, you could do 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, 6 different instruments, and then you could edit down here and pull them in, and you could sound like an entire band, which would be pretty cool. So there's a quick effect for PowerDirector 19 on how to do a Travis Scott effect that he did in one of his videos, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.